Welcome to Think Property Club's Think Tank, where we connect, share, and learn the tips and hacks from our specialists. They become part of our A-team, supporting us to create the best developments in the property game. Everybody, welcome to today's Think Property Club's hot topic. We will be talking about wealth and wellness. Thank you all for coming on Tuesday, for those who are here live, and for those who are watching us recorded, welcome. We've got a very special our session with one of my most favorite people in the world. It's Mel Scott-Rowan.
Thank you, beautiful.
Mel's been a big part of our journey, Jason and mine, through Think Property Club, through many years of being in this property game and probably a little bit before, and instrumental to really helping us balance our wealth and wellness, being in the property industry, in the entrepreneurial industry. And it's a continual learning for us. And we really wanted to share with you all how we do it and how Mel does it too, and share a little bit tips and hacks on how you can improve your day-to-day so that you can create that wealth and wellness in your lifestyle for yourself and for your loved ones. So let's get into it. Welcome, Mel.
It's so beautiful to see people I know jumping on. That's amazing.
Yes. Now, wealth and wellness, we came up with this, words about 2 years ago when we started running our retreats in Bali with Mel. Wellness, as we all know, means, a few different things to everybody. For me, it means overall health, how I can be healthy, happy on that kind of emotional and physical level, so that I can operate at that high level. And what about you, Mel? Wellness for you?
Yeah, 100%. I think they're so intertwined, because without one, you can't have the other, and without the other, you can't have the other. So there's an intermingled relationship there that I think is so important for us to master. And that wellness is mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. So it's the whole broad spectrum that, when we were creating these retreats together, you and I know that if we just kind of work on all the doing and we focus on the physical and the practical and all of those things, that yes, we're going to get great results. But when we partner that with a higher vibration and our wellness focus, and then, there's an acceleration, there's an amplification of what you can attain, for sure.
I love that. It is 100% amplification. When I know I'm healthy, I'm thriving, I can get up, I can physically do all those things, then everything comes to us easier. The abundance, the attraction of, that property deal or that particular person or the money partner or our loved ones, or just something, a little goal that we want to put into our lives. A lot of people put wealth to like a money gain, right? I kind of see wealth as a much bigger thing these days. It's not just financial gain. For you, what is it, Mel, for the wealth?
Well, for me, wealth, I like to think of that alongside of abundance. I think that we've been gifted this incredible life here on planet Earth, and there's never been a more exciting time to live every single one of our dreams, like literally fill up the cup in every part of our life, from our wisdom to our inspiration, to our contribution, to our capacity to give experiences to ourselves and the people that we love. And I think that's true wealth for me, is if I am free and I'm unlimited and I can dream my dreams and then materialize them without actually having to be stuck in a grinding job or something that I don't love. For me, the whole picture is being on purpose, generating amazing results, ecological results, and being able to do it all and have it all, whatever that is for everyone, because it's different for all of us,
That answer, Mel. I feel like that really encapsulates true happiness. And from that space of thinking, feeling, manifesting, creating those dreams that come into life. And it's possible, because we've seen it done with yourself, with us, with some of our students, and, for everybody who's listening today, it is possible. And, I want you guys to write down for yourself, while we're going through this webinar today, what does wealth and wellness mean to you? You'll get some ideas from us, but truly in your heart, what sings to you with those two?
Something else I want to add there, Amy, is that what wealth and wellness means to us today is such a privilege, because even just one generation, let alone two generations in my bloodline, they didn't have the freedom to choose. They didn't have the capacity to wake up and live their day spa life and, like I do, and go from health activity to another and manifest amazing things and talk to people all around the world. They had limitation, restriction, hardcore, working the grind. Like most of us that are on this entrepreneurial pathway are here because we've triggered out of like very stuck patterns. And so this question is a luxury that we get to ask and we get to answer it. However,
it's so true, Mel. It really is. Because if I ask that question to my parents or my grandparents, I don't think they would even know how to answer that.
No, it would have been bread and butter on the table. Like for two generations ago, like for me, bread and butter on the table, that was what wealth and wellness meant to them.
The family, looking after the kids. I think that's it.
Yeah. Or education was wealth. And, the ability, we've got at our fingertips, we can Google a million things today and learn how to do a million things. Like, we're very privileged, but we can be stuck in our own paradigm and not accessing that grace, that privilege, this question. So it's exciting to answer it.
It is really exciting. And I think it's activating this within all of you today. If you haven't started thinking about this, this is what we want to bring to you. So let's talk about our energy. Our next slide, darling.
So energy is everything. The whole universe is literally one big quantum field of energy and thought and vibrational projection. We live in a holographic universe. Everything that you're experiencing is a direct result of your unconscious mind, that which you've come here from a soul perspective with, limitations you've encountered in your childhood and growing up, and also genealogical influences. So all of that creates your vibrational matrix. And all of you on this call, because you've been working on that part of yourself, and probably you understand that your vibration creates and magnetizes everything to you. So we understand it as a concept, but how do we apply that to our daily life? How do we incorporate the fact that if I change my thinking, my feeling, my beliefs, my behaviors, maybe what I do today, then perhaps that can generate abundance, or that can manifest a property deal. So the two go hand in hand. Your vibration is interlinked.
Yeah. And, let's give some examples, Mel. Some people, this could be really new, to how we think and feel. I know that if I'm stuck in a stressful situation, something happened. Let's make an example. I wanted this property I've been looking at. I've been working on it, calling agents, doing some due diligence on it. I've been really attached to it.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, one of the consultants said, no, you can't build those because the council region got the trees in the way, or
there's an overlay. There's a zone
overlay of some blockage or challenge. And I just really want to make it happen. I'm just going to make it happen. But the universe is throwing all these blockages. And I just feel all those things, frustrated, fearful, a bit angry, annoyed. And then all these extra annoying things come to me as I'm like driving.
Because someone touched you on, and then you get a call from school and there's a problem there, and then they don't have your favorite tomatoes at the organic produce, and then it's like cascading intervention in your life. Yes.
What do you do, Mel?
What do you do? Well, the first thing to remember is that you are the creator of your reality. So everything that's happening to you, including in property, business, life, politics, it's all a reflection of ourselves. So when we're having those meltdown moments, if you look at our flow chart here, a lot of the negative emotions that we get triggered with, they keep us so stuck in terms of manifestation. So if 1,000 represents God and consciousness, it also represents your ability to instantly manifest and to magnetize. So if we're down there in those negative emotions, we're kind of the total opposite of manifesting what we want. So we're going to attract more of what we don't want. And that cascade can feel so debilitating because one thing happens, another thing happens, that spiral, and then you don't know how to get yourself out of it because number one, you feel like it's happening to you. So the first step is recognition. You are the creator of your reality. Whatever is happening is a reflection of your belief system. So that potentially that overlay, that zoning, it's a reflection of a feeling inside of you. I can't do it. It never works out for me. I don't have what it takes. Other people get it before me. You'll have some limiting belief inside of you that the universe is showing you. Now, that feels frustrating. And it sometimes feels more overwhelming when I share that with my clients, but it puts you in the seat of power because then you're like, what do I need to learn? What do I need to shift in my thinking, my feeling, my belief so that I raise my vibration and I become a match? Now, the match isn't just for that property or that zoning. The match is for your next abundant manifestation. And if it's not that particular one, How quickly can you let it go? How can you reframe? How can you move on? How can you make a better choice? Not very well if you're stuck in all the, the intensity of it. So this is why we use mentors. This is why we do coaching. This is why we've got to have health and wellness practices, because that day that you get the bad news, rather than sitting in your office stressing about it for 7 hours, it would be better to go to yoga, have a chat with a mentor, debrief, go to the garden, do something to shift vibration.
I love that, and we kind of go, well, it's not my fault, somebody else's fault, right?
Yeah, the bloody council, and believe me, I've got my own bloody council stories, but everything is a reflection. And I honestly believe that, I have a great story about one of our own zonings that got completely knocked on the head. We'd have invested so much money and we'd already done some land clearing. We'd invested all this money and they came back with a hard no, like it was a total no.
Yep.
I remember I got the call and I just burst into tears because it was like a real, really important. So that emotional release, we're not saying don't have emotions, have your emotions, let them release out of you, talk to your mentor, refocus yourself, and then come up with better. This is questions. What can I do differently? What will shift this? What do I need to do to get a better result? What are 3 solutions right now that I haven't thought of? So all of a sudden you're saying to this vast universe, hey, get on my side here and help.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. And Mel, tell people about what you do on your next slide, about how you coach our students, myself and Jason. And, it is not something you do one time, you're like, oh, you're done and fixed for life. It's not like tools and techniques. Tell people about how you've done that.
Well, it's a forever journey in my mind, because we are vibrational beings and we're not meant to be perfect. We're not meant to understand everything, know it all, get it all right. We're literally meant to be on this journey, evolving in our consciousness and be very assisted in that process, because you can't understand all of your unconscious limitations. You actually need to be partnered in that journey. And the power of questions is nothing better than I know to reach into your heart and your soul and ask, what's stopping you? What's holding you back? What are you afraid of? What do you need to learn that will shift that? What are you going to do differently? When will you do that? What's your commitment? I don't ask 100 questions at once. It's over a journey. I work with my clients over a whole year. They invest with me over a whole year to transform every area of their life and particular priority issues. And what this does is it delves deeply into the inner mechanism of how you create your reality. So it's about support. It's about mentoring, guidance. But ultimately, coaching says you've got all the answers inside of you. You are an intelligent human. And if we start to shift some of those limiting beliefs, very quickly, you start manifesting different results. And then we just go from strength to strength. Maybe it's another project, another deal. I've supported and partnered with people to create millions of dollars, to create, children galore, to create romance and soulmate and living in better destinations or transforming them. So there's just no end to what transformation can actually bring to your life. And I think the biggest thing about coaching is we're all vulnerable, because as humans, we're all fallible. But as beings and higher conscious beings and souls, we are unlimited. So I meet people at that human level and I guide them into a higher vibrational frame so that they can call in their next best life, results, journey. And not just for today. This is decades long. It's like, what are you here on the earth to do? What are you going to create for yourself? What's getting in your way? And then systematically helping you to decide what you're going to move and shift and create and do differently to generate what you want. So it's my lifelong passion. This is what I live and breathe. I always say I'm going to be coaching till the day that I die, and probably being coached, because it's such a powerful process.
You are definitely a light to many, to myself, Jason, many others during, good times and hard times. And it's just knowing the simple tools, how we can align back to our purpose, like you said, and not getting stuck in those harder energies where we don't have to be for so long, right?
Yeah. And I think the courage that it takes to, number one, know that you're not alone, and number two, reach out for that support, because like I said, we're not meant to do it on our own. Some people have that limiting belief that if they ask for too much help, they're a failure, or if they don't get the first thing themselves, they haven't done it right. But this is what we've got to dismantle: all the limits, all the negative vibrational impacts, so that you can come up into a higher vibrational resonance. across every area of your life.
Yeah. And this is the reason why it's coming together in like-minded groups, whether it's, within Think Property Club or your other communities. And it's not about doing it on your own anymore.
No.
It's collectively, it's with people you attract in your life who can help you move forward. And I know in different areas of our life, we always look towards different mentors or different people who have done it. And it's powerful, the alignment and what you can create with these things.
That is so true, Amy. The number one thing I say to all my clients is do not look to someone that doesn't have what you want. They're not living the way you want. They're not the vibrational representation you want to emanate. They don't feel the abundance. They don't believe in the abundance. You can't look to them for the guidance. And very often our parental restrictions and some of our well-meaning friends that may be on a different path and purpose, they have their thoughts and experiences and beliefs. And sometimes we can be overshadowed by that and we can get stuck in the fear mongering. We get stuck in social media limitations or media itself. I stopped watching actual television 10 years ago. Like it was just like an overnight. It's like, I just don't want to expose myself to that. So some of the tips and ways to stay high vibrational is to cultivate your own energy, your own belief systems, your own groups, because groups have a positive impact that when you're just trying to do it on your own, as opposed to when you're in the group, you can go to a whole nother level through spontaneous alignment. That if we're just doing it on our own or in our own family constellation, it might take us 5 years. Whereas with the vibration of a group, you're actually catapulting. It's so incredible to be around like-minded souls.
Yeah, I 100% agree. So let's look at how we have created some tips and visualizations for you. These are some of the tips that, I put together that Jason and I have done in our family and our lifestyle. We obviously love living life to the fullest. We do property deals. We teach property as a way of really serving and giving back. And we love seeing people change their lives through our teachings. And a lot of that is balancing that with our family life. So we have 2 beautiful little girls who we love spending time with, family, friends, living life with, holidays and fitness and sports and wellness. So we want to do so much in our life because we love it and our kids love it too. So a lot of this is really setting priority times for different things in our life. And a lot of people, even when I was working 9 to 5 many years ago, I got caught up in the gray areas of work life and personal life. And I just wasn't present in a lot of either of those times. And I wasn't happy. So I feel like it's really important to set aside your work time so that when you're working, you're truly working and you can be efficient and you get things done. You want to enjoy it too, but don't try and fit in like multitasking a million things at one time. I used to be the master of multitasking, Didn't serve very well. I got a lot of things done, but I was energetically so ruined and so tired. So now I really set the boundary to have work time, personal time, weekends is more personal time with family, friends, and family. So how can you guys set your boundaries within that? Any tips on how to boundary? People working full time. I don't know.
Absolute favorite thing to transform with every client that I work with, because very often we are working from these old archaic perceptions that if I just work harder and I keep pushing and I keep doing this and I keep doing that, that I'm going to get ahead more quickly. The irony that I've seen, and I've seen this with thousands of people, is that when you start to actually prioritize yourself first and you bring that work-life balance in, now for everyone that's going to be different. It might be 2 things that you do differently. You're inspired to put some wellness energy into your week and you do those 2 things and you just consistently do them. It could just be going to the park one day and it could be a yoga class another day, or something that you love, and you put that in consistently, and ironically, you are going to manifest and materialize far superior results because of the balance. So the old notion of just work really hard, make it all happen, and then in 3 months you can have a holiday or you can rest. Well, the time you get there, you're sick, the children are sick, everyone's having a meltdown because you missed your cue. And the cue is not, once a year we have a holiday. The cue is on a weekly basis. What are you doing to nourish your mind, body, and soul? Like, what are you really doing? And the importance of that, because what will happen if you don't nourish your mind, body, and soul? Well, in your 20s, not much. In your 30s, maybe a little. In your 40s, your 50s, your 60s, your 70s, your 80s, well, the proverbial shit starts to hit the fan and it materializes as things you don't want. And it blocks your opportunities. It blocks your adventures. It blocks you being able to be the best shiny version of yourself. And this is where you got to let go of some fear, because the fear is like, no, I must do it this way. I must work hard. I must prove myself. I must. Well, that masculine, not that, it's an ideology or a philosophy that's kind of been responsible for the last maybe, however many eons of decades of consciousness. We're shifting out of that. And you're seeing that with social media. You're seeing 12-year-olds become billionaires. So you're seeing the matrix, change. But by the same token, you can still be on your phone scrolling and stuck in the matrix because you're not doing things for you. So what are you doing? What will you do on a weekly basis to begin to inject some of that wellness for yourself? Because what wellness gives back to you is exponential. It doesn't seem like it at the time, but if you're able to be bird's eye perspective on your whole life and you look at the people that do inject that wellness and you look at those that don't, you'll see significant decline very rapidly when people don't. And it's counterintuitive, but it's such a powerful shift. And I always talk about this. Prioritizing you is the single biggest change and gift and wealthy choice you can make for your whole life.
Yeah, because when you prioritize yourself, you are actually doing things that make you happy and bring you that joyful energy and that feeling we talked about. And
it raises your vibration, and then you attract.
Yeah.
You go to the beach, you walk your dog, you have a swim, and you come home, and that council approval somehow is rejigged, and it's possible. Or you found it right, or So
many miracles happen during those wellness times. I remember, I think we ran a retreat this year or it was last year, and some students came. They were like basking in the 4-hour treatments every day, relaxed, meditating, didn't really have their phones, and then they'd check their phone at night. They'll come to me and say, Amy, I was working on this project and heard from the council for so long, suddenly got approved. Somebody was like, we suddenly got a buyer for that. I've been calling and chasing. It just happened in the background whilst they were in their kind of wellness and relaxed state.
In their Zen state. It's the Zen state. The Buddhist philosophies talked about this for eons. It's the art of detachment. And I always say that I learned this when I was about 18 and I was mad about this guy. I was so in love with him. And back then you used to have the old phones. You didn't have a mobile. You had to sit at home and wait all day for them to call. And I would literally sit and wait for hours by the phone. I don't even have a phone, but I would sit there waiting and waiting. The minute that I would go stuff it and I'd go up to, Woolies or go wash my car, the minute that I left the focus and I went into that Zen detachment, that's when he would call. And it was like, I learned that very quickly that, okay, universe, this is something I've got to get my psychology right here, because when I stop obsessing, focusing, going hardcore and I go into Zen, life flows. So I knew very early on there was something in that.
So really the lesson here is just to let go as much as possible when you're really striving for something. So you've got to put it in there.
Preserve the focus, take the action.
Yep.
Attach on it having to be the way you think it needs to be, because sometimes you're focusing on this one approval here. The universe wants to give you a whole other, more incredible, more abundant thing that when you can't let go at this level, you're not opening up to the vastness.
Yeah, I love that. And look, some of the tips here, like I said, limit your times for checking your emails, your phone message, and social media. We all get caught up with our technology, and you check one message and it takes you to Facebook and it takes you to shopping and it takes you 2 hours later. You're like, 1 minute turned into 2 hours of nowhere land. And now you're thinking about all these other things that is taking.
And you bought a pair of thongs that you'll never wear, and you've got a bra that's meant to be a push-up bra coming from Temu. Drew calls this, in our house, we have a thing that he named 70s Sunday. So if you couldn't do it in the 70s, you can't do it. So there's no phones.
Oh, serious.
Their friends, they've got to go up to the phone box. They've got to dial the old phone box. They don't even know their numbers because they can't use the phone. If they want to watch TV, Drew even went to the extent that he put it on black and white. He goes, here you go.
Oh, my gosh.
This is what we used to do, no phones, nothing. You're bored. Why don't you go outside and run around in the paddock?
I love that. There's so much good juices from just being. The instant manifestation, the joy in waiting for something. So we might all have to, it's so much more exciting when it comes to you, rather than it's like, oh, instantly I need that, right?
It avoids the dopamine depletion, because our dopamine, back in the olden days, I talk about the olden days now like I'm so old, but in the olden days, we used to have to wait a week to watch an episode.
Yes.
I could binge 50 episodes in 2 days. Like, what the hell is that going to do to me? Then I wonder, why am I feeling tired or sad or not motivated? Well, it's because I just gave my brain dopamine for a year, and then the body doesn't have any. So this well-being, it's more important now than ever. I've been talking about this for nearly 30 years, but I would say in this year, it's probably the most important because of AI, because of these new advents that we have to our reality creation and the way the world is going. So at the end of your life, when you're, moving up to the heavenly realms, you're not going to look down and go, oh, I'm so glad I scrolled 400 million times. It's going to be, who did I spend time with? What adventures did we have? How much did I love myself? Did I honor myself? Did I listen to my soul purpose? Did I let work rule me, or did I create a life that I love? That's the currency. That's what true wealth is. Did I create, and can I create, and how can I create that life that I love today? Because it's right here now. It's not when you got 10 million in the bank. It's now. And you can live a life that you love without having $10 million and have the money alongside of that.
And, I tell my kids often, they go, oh, what do you want? Oh, I want this for Christmas. I want that for Christmas or birthdays. And I'm like, well, what do you really want that for? And how long that's going to give you that toy for? How long that experience? Because I've got so many stuffed toys, and it's like, wow, that instant happiness forgets as soon as we come.
Yeah. It's a dusty old thing somewhere.
Yeah. So we piles up. So I'm like, no more stuffed toys. So birthdays, we try and implement, all right, we'll get one thing that you really want. And then from everybody else, let's see if we can have an experience with that friend, that relative, that family member that can have fun, can print photos from that day and remember it. And it'll be instilled in our mind for many years to come. And they're on board, which I'm super excited, because they would love, let's go water slides for that day, or the zoo, or something fun. For them, they're really starting to get that, which I'm really happy about, because some of those experiences can be free. It doesn't have to be expensive. Sitting in a picnic blanket, going for creating a water slide at home with the hose on the trampoline, and just little things, right? How can we get creative? Without effort, without costs. And we want you to have a think about how you can fit in that health and wellness non-negotiable for that week. Like we put examples, like Mel and I love our yoga massages and our nature things, but for you it could be, half a day with your kid at the park kicking a soccer ball, basketball, whatever it is. How can we,
especially those things, Amy, because those nature-based activities, that is what helps us co-regulate our nervous system. From all the stress, from all the anxiety, from depression, from autoimmune diseases, from all sorts of impacts that we're having from all this technology, that if you go co-regulate, having at least with your family, find a way to get your family in nature once a week. Whether your children are young, old, or whether you don't even have children, find a way to get into that zone, because otherwise we're living in square boxes, we're looking at square boxes, we're talking on square boxes. It's just like we're missing the point. If we were looking down at ourselves, it'd be a lot of boxes.
like that. We're not box people, right? Which is abundant and so surrounded by outside. Or be outside working on our laptops if we have to at that time.
I mean, even just fresh air. Sometimes I get claustrophobic on planes. But, the thing is, it's like, well, I can be claustrophobic in here because it's like there's no, genuine airflow happening all the time. So when you can work outside, when you can find your green activity. Your green activity is that wellness one. Like, obviously, the reason why Amy and I love the yoga, the massage, the meditation is because these are guaranteed ways to get you out of your stress mind, out of beta brain. So you have brain waves that are happening all day long that when you're on technology, you're fixed in beta. If we hooked you up to the cardiographs and electromagnetic machines, that's what it would show. Your brain waves are fixed. Now, because we're so surrounded by technology, this is kind of like a prerequisite for our health that we actually find the way to get into alpha. Now, alpha brainwaves is meditation, switching off devices, going into nature, and being human touch. See, the power of massage is not just that it heals your organs, not that it clears your negative emotions, that it does all of those things, but having regular massages, and especially like what we do in Bali 4 hours a day, it releases so much oxytocin. And when it releases that hormone within men and women, then the whole nervous system rebalances and trauma can exit the body. Because while we keep working and we're busy and we're not doing our green activities every week, life happens. You go through stress. You've had trauma in your past. People pass away, life challenges, health challenges. So we just keep putting all of that in when we don't have regulation activities. And so my minimum is 2 retreats a year that I have for myself and my family, let alone the ones that I facilitate for all my beautiful client family. So I challenge you to think about to really take this to the next level. And imagine yourself a year from now, if you did inject more of this wellness, no excuses, no stories, no doubts, but you're like, you know what? If this message is coming from my mentors, there must be something in this. And this is a message I've been speaking forever. This is my love message, just to say, we really matter. Life really matters. We don't want to miss it. We don't want to go, I had a really good life tapping away on those keyboards. Like, what?
Yeah, I definitely have taken, notes from that, from when I used to work.
You are a transformed woman, Amy Tang. You are.
Yeah. Well, I put in much wellness in my life. It's great now. I'm like, I must get in the box a little bit here and there. But you know what? Things manifest.
Living in your dream location. You are honoring your children. They're in incredible communities. Your body, your wellness, even your aura, your energy, visually, you look younger. Like you're an incredible example.
Thank you, Mel.
That's true.
To you as well. And this is why we are constantly talking about this. And we do it with such love and intent because we know it works. We know it works when you look after yourself. One of the other tips is I say, call someone you love in your circle once a week. We can be caught up in our doing, and we're still on the technology. And there's always someone that you can call for a couple of minutes or send them a love message. And it just brings my heart open much more, and to connect with people we don't see, because we're also disconnected. We're all in different location in our boxes, and someone could be having a really bad day. And I love that, a little message or a voice message, if we can't reach them, can light up their world too. It's a world, and it's about giving love, giving gratitude. And even my little girls, I'm teaching them the pay it forward kindness. So each week, Mum, which coffee shop are we going to? Who are we going to buy coffee or drink for today?
I love that. Because then they're looking for ways to contribute. They're looking for ways to give back, and that shift in focus is everything from a young age. Rather than like when I grew up, it was fear and it was scarcity. And if you gave money away, it was because you had to because of religion. Whereas I love to be abundant. And when you are abundant, when you're generous to yourself and to others, and you let go of guilt and you let go of thinking it has to just be hard work all the time, your whole life goes to another level because you vibrationally ascend and you become closer to God, to Goddess, to the universe, whatever you want to call it. But you don't just do that. As Amy's sharing, your whole family come with you.
Yes.
Yeah,
it feels good. It feels good. And this is the energy we want to be feeling lighter, happier, and purposeful, right, in this lifetime. Let's look at some of the vision boards. So we put some vision boards examples.
Good. Okay, right.
This is an exercise we've been doing for many years. We learned from some of our mentors. Actually, I'll come back to this. We'll go to the vision board next one. Okay, so when you're dreaming big, you can't just think about it in your head and then it goes. When we put it out visually on something that we can put up on our wall and we can look at it on a daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, my heart is constantly going, oh, I'd love to have a big heart to lead the way. I want to travel more. I want to be able to, some properties that will profit. I want to be able to help other people. I want to do charity work. I want to do this and this. At first, when I first did it, it was really tricky because I was like, do I deserve this? How am I going to get it? I've done nothing close to this. And I think that was the one on the right was one I did, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago. Just a simple one. It was generic pictures of found on Google, I just put on a Word document, and we had to do it for 5 years' time, I believe. And every time I look back on some of our old vision boards, I'm like, wow, we did that. We did that. We did that. And it felt so hard at the time, but how is a vision board creating these, Mel?
So what happens is it's kind of the visual stimulation, and you've got to pay attention to what you're paying attention to. So this is why mindless scrolling, I'm not a big fan of it, because do you want that in your reality creation pot? Like all that energy coming in of like other people's thoughts, feelings, beliefs, perceptions. When I wake up in the morning, I do not look at my phone. I do not scroll. I do not do any of that, because I want to be the one setting my intention for the day. So vision boards are a big broadcast to the universe. These are my intentions, non-negotiable. I don't know how I'm going to achieve them. I just know that I'm choosing it. And then when your subconscious field absorbs that day by day, because you're walking past it, it's your screensaver, it's in your bathroom, it's all around you, something changes in the reticular activating system, that part of the brain that then draws and magnetizes and starts to believe that this is like going to happen. Every morning you go to the fridge, there's milk. You know there's going to be milk. You see the milk, you trust that you go to the shops, there's going to be milk. Well, the same with your vision board. You see that, big heart leading the way, or you see that beautiful tranquil home, and that literally looks like your house, Amy, and you see it and you create it. And it's like the guy on The Secret, Rhonda Burns' documentary many years ago. And he was just this Mr. Nobody, and he cut out this home, a dream home, like a multi-million-dollar mansion, put it on his vision board without a second thought. Then he becomes this amazing speaker and prosperity coach and, advisor all around the world. He literally unconsciously buys the house that was on his dream board. It's not till he's in the house unpacking the boxes that he goes, shit, I just put that on there and didn't even think about it. Now I'm living in that house. So there is magic and mystery and a level of subconscious subliminal programming that a good version. Because if that's just one little board, and that's powerful, it's also powerful in the negative. That's why we've got to be careful. We've got to be careful about what we pay attention to and how we subconsciously reprogram. This is why meditation, visualization, affirmation audios, all the ways in which we want to cultivate and curate our new projections really matter. There's also the magic of a visual image to the brain alongside of elevating your belief system. There's a power in that, because it's kind of like we're positively grooming the unconscious mind to go, yeah, drive that car. Like I'm sure there's a Tesla beneath that finger there, because Tesla's galore at your house. So it's like, yeah, you just go, that's coming to me. I can have that. That's in my life. And it is a reprogramming tool, and it's powerful.
Yeah, it really magnetizes things to you. It might not be instant, but it definitely does come along the way when we're doing all the joyful things, right?
Yes.
So this is some of the things we teach, Mel and I, as well, at our retreat, in some of our further learning on the wellness and wealth. Some of you can Google it, how to do a vision board. You can start doing that now. But I remember Jason said, don't make it realistic. Dream big.
Yeah.
Times 100.
Yeah.
And you want it to be something that you're going to hope for and manifest towards, because if you put something too realistic, yeah, it'll happen. But why are you not dreaming big? Why are you not going for the next big thing?
Wild excitement, and that includes not just the material items, but how you will feel. Because the one way to really catapult you into the vibration of what you're wanting to experience is to become, the feeling is free and it's available. Like say you wanted an amazing new, car, for example, a car that flies. That's Joss's.
Oh, okay, love it.
So you wanted one of them, and you put that on your vision board, and you're like, oh, that can't happen. Well, it absolutely can, and it probably will in our lifetime very soon, I would imagine. But, we've got to cancel and delete the limitations and put it on there with an absolute just kind of like, well, what if this did happen? What if this could happen? And letting go of any attachment. And that's the little Zen Buddhist detachment moment of going, I choose this, I want this. How will I feel driving that particular flying car? Amazing, exhilarated. Well, there's no reason I can't have that exhilaration today while I'm waiting for that to manifest.
And I love that if you look at the most successful people in the world and what they've created, they would have started off with a vision, a dream. I would love to see Elon Musk's vision board. It would be absolutely like outrageous. Even today for 50 years time what he's creating. And human beings, we're all equal. we all have the power to be able to manifest and create those things, not just Elon, not just.
And do you know how you know that? Do you know how you're all equally powerful and all equally have the potential to manifest everything your heart's ever desired? How do you know that? I want you to think about it for a moment. How do you know that you are equal and you have all the same power, all the same ability, all the same rights to have everything you've ever wanted? Want to know the answer? Like drum roll.
Yeah.
The way you know the answer is because you manifested yourself to planet Earth. You are the reason you came here. You are the one that came with a divine purpose. And what's on Amy's vision board or my vision board is different to what's on yours. You've got a divine purpose that you're here to materialize. And believe it or not, we think that we need a lot of money to do it, but we actually don't. And the more that you align your divine purpose with, these strategies and wealth strategies and property strategies and your wellness, then that's the whole picture. Then you're bringing wholeness to yourself, to your loved ones, and you become non-negotiable and you become less fear-based because you're like, when you know your purpose and when you know you're more than any amount of money in your bank balance or you're more than any material possession you'll ever own, you don't get as distracted. And when you don't get as distracted or consumed by the consuming things, guess what, guys? They come to you. They turn up in your driveway or you win them or the check comes in the mail or the money turns up or the things that you need start being attracted to you when you actually start to truly know yourself and your purpose.
Miracles happening all the time and you can create them. I love it. Next slide, please, Ellie. So we'll go back on the tips a little bit later. This is just some of my examples of what we've manifested over the years, just to show you really when you get on a roll of manifesting, people, places, things come to you and it just continues. Right? And we call it getting in that flow where we stay on that high vibrational energy. And of course, we're still living daily life. We're still human beings. We still go through different emotions as well. But constantly, we're trying to align with people who can help us too. And I think that's important to shift us out of any challenges.
And when you look at this, Amy, the love and the devotion and bringing your family along, it's like the ability to rise up is not just within you, Amy. It's now within each and every one of those that you love around you. So that's also what I love the most is that this journey that when you say yes to inspiration, manifestation, commitment to your wellness and your health, that yes becomes a collective yes to everyone you love. Like look at the love there. Look at the energy, the alignment. It's so beautiful.
Well, thank you. So let's talk a little bit about our retreat and what we do, Mel. Yeah. So we started this 2024, last year, 2023.
Yeah.
Our first one, and Mel's involved with our ThinkPropertyClub for many years, but we said, how can we bring it to the next level where we're really allowing people to immerse in creating that wealth and wellness and pause for that time. You mentioned twice a year. And Mel runs different retreats throughout the year. And this is a special one we run for Think Property Club community, and friends and family within that can come to. First year, 2023, was absolutely life-changing for Jason and I. It was a pause that we've never had for a whole, was it only 3 days or 4 days, that one?
First one that we did, yes, because that was our first was 3 nights, 4 days.
Yeah. And it felt like definitely a week because, we stopped our phones, we stopped our daily lives, and we literally flew to Bali, and Mel looked after us many, many ways for that 4 days, but we could actually give back to self-love. And many things changed after that retreat. I still remember we restructured so many things in our lives, business, relationship, health, friendships, community circles. And almost like we rewrote our goals and our vision board so that it aligns better with what we wanted in our daily life. And it happened a lot with our students too. Now you can talk about, some of the things that we do. Next, we are talking about next year. It's only for a small select group of people because we don't want a mass group of people get close and intimate with myself, Jason, and our students who come along. So what does this involve, Mel? What do we do? Is it just sitting there boring. And if it's, oh, we're not doing
No. This is a personally curated, over 20 years I've been running my retreats, and 15 years, or it might be longer than that now, in Bali. This particular venue that we hire out the resort. It's a boutique resort. They treat us like family. We've been going there forever. We've got such a deep bond with them. And Bali is just such a magical place. Like when we talk about that vibrational scale, it's so high in what it allows you to manifest, but also what it allows you to let go of. So, our retreats are designed very comprehensively. So they're quite full. I would call them immersive. Having 4 hours of massage every day. It's massage, not just massage, it's different healing elixirs and facials and, stretching and hot rock massage and bamboo massage, different types of massage, all sorts of pampering for the whole mind, body and soul. And honestly, just one day like that can change your life. We had one of the gentlemen come several years ago, and he'd never had a massage in his whole entire life. And honestly, everyone was like, oh my God, have you seen Don? He literally floated down the stairs like he looked like Jesus. He had an aura around him. And everyone was like, what's happened to him? And it's like, well, actually, Don was just a reflection of everyone, because everyone looked shinier, clearer, lighter after one day. So every morning, we're cultivating and curating every way we can to help the body leave toxins, leave stress, but also get you into the flow state so that you can manifest your next year, your next decade. And really, like Amy and Jason did, start thinking about, what do I want to change in my life? Because change requires space, and space requires reflection, and reflection requires this kind of nurtured experience where you're waking up with the sounds of Bali, you are meditating, you're experiencing creative visualization. I'm guiding you through those visualizations. We're doing gentle yoga and stretching. Anybody can do my yoga. It's nurturing, it's restorative, it's so healing to the body that you're motivated. I've had people come and do my yoga that have never done anything like that in their life, and they go home and they retain their practice. After 6 mornings of just stretching your body, you're like, why aren't I doing this? So we have crystal bowl healing, kahuna massages. We've got a beautiful blessing, a Balinese sacred blessing that is just so sacred that, because the manager that runs the resort that I've got a beautiful relationship with, his mother is a famous priest in Bali, and really incredible. Number one, that she's a priest, and number two, a female priest. And she takes this connection to us and brings that blessing and brings in mantra to clear out karma for us. Like, they just embrace us on every level. We do lots of breath work. We swim in the pool. We do floating meditations. Like, there's no stone unturned in terms of what you're going to experience with your mind, body and soul. Yes. If you're coming with a loved one, incredible. If you're coming on your own, incredible as well. Like, the opportunity to get to know yourself, to get to clear yourself, to get to reset yourself. You think in 6 days, can you change your life? Yes, you can. That's really what is on offer here. And that's why I make it immersive, because I want you to take away something other than just like, oh, I had a good time. It's like, no. Let's transform mind, body, soul. Let's look at every area of our life. And let's create a different reality.
Yeah, I love that. And it's for, all ages, whether you're female or male. And it's really, Mel and I do this from the biggest heart intention, really, for everybody to be able to reset, rejuvenate and evolve from where they are to where they really want to be. And we teach property predominantly to help you change your financial wealth. But what we saw over the years is that when you're just going hard at something, and a lot of you are really successful entrepreneurs who are great at achieving and doing things, but you're missing. There's this whole big other side of you that's missing. And it just made, you're achieving harder, you're working harder, and you're hustling more. And when we created this experience so that you can reset over 1 week, your whole life just changes. You really want to live life differently after going to this retreat. And people who have never done a retreat or even never had a massage, like, they waited like 60 years or something to do something like this. And they're like, why didn't I do this sooner?
Wait.
I just highly recommend anyone who has, been living this life where we just go, invite you to just, open up and go, yeah, let's give this a go. Everybody leaves a different person. And it's funny, this year we had more men than women. And it was so beautiful to see them shifting and turning and feeling they could be nurtured and supported to release a lot of old mindset beliefs, blockages, fears, and become this whole new person where they felt lighter, happier, and supported, which was what, this is our goal to bring to you guys. So let's have a look at some more pictures from it, and we'll talk to you a little bit about what we're going to...
A lot of what we're doing is in an outdoor yoga shala. So you're in nature, you're hearing those birds, you're getting that breeze, and the video. Go for it.
And you can talk, Mel, as we're going through this as well.
All right, perfect. Well, we go to the pyramids, we do meditation there. We have our full schedule from kind of early morning with lots of sleeping at the day spa and relaxation. And then we do evening programs as well. So this is kind of us at the pyramids there. We go to this incredible sacred geometry space and do a beautiful meditation as a group. And again, that group energy and group harmony, the reason I partner with Amy and Jason is because I've known them, and I know how incredible their love and their intention, their field of generosity is. And so to partner with that and amplify that with these beautiful souls, I'm looking at Sam and Nifty, and
everybody's glowing.
Everyone's glowing, shiny.
The next page, we'll keep going.
The other part is the vegetarian food. Like we predominantly through that week will have mostly vegetarian, because that's an opportunity for your body and your digestion to have a break and a rest. But it's gourmet vegetarian. It's absolutely amazing, with so many different flavors, cuisines, and healing recipes that they're so good you won't even know that they're healing. You'll be like, this tastes incredible, or these juices every morning before yoga. It's like the elixir of health that we bring in 1 week is amazing.
So the retreat is next end of June 2025. So we've got a little bit of time. But I know that even with our previous students who come, they've rebooked themselves like straight after, going, yep, I know this again next year. It's just something that they know has helped them move forward in their day-to-day and pick up more tips and ideas on how they can create that dream life and that manifestation of that wellness in their life. I know I learn more each time I go and spend time with you, Mel, just on, health and nutrition, and just more stillness where I can. So I think we're almost half sold out of the rooms based on what we have. We have some of the students' testimonials. I won't go through that. I'm going to send you guys all the slides so you can have a look at it. Got Sam here. Morgan's, I think, come twice already.
Morgan and Jay coming third year running, absolutely devoted. They love it. We love that.
Oh, yay, Morgan. Can you tell people a little bit about what's been the best thing you've loved about it and how it's changed you over the years?
I think the last 2 times I've come, it's just been really nice just to kind of connect with people. I mean, I've always put forward kind of making sure I kind of connect and get to know people. And obviously, it's been amazing for me and my growth and resetting my mind and opening up my mind to what's ahead. But just connecting with people on top of obviously everything you guys have said about the massages, the wellness, the relaxation. But I just look forward to this year. Just meeting a new group of people and expanding my network. And
we've loved having you there and seeing you change your life so rapidly at the moment. It's just like boom, boom, boom. Things are like lining up.
Well, I always say the small, simple changes that you make when you're in those devotional Zen spaces, like when you take away all the things and you go into that really deep connected space where you're aligned with yourself, that is when you project. And when you project from there, you do get rapid results. It's not kind of, some people are like, oh, spiritual woo-woo. I've been teaching these skills and I've seen so many miracles. I could write like 50 books about the miracles that I see day in, day out. When you are intentional and when you are connected to your intuition, life just moves boulders. It really does.
Yeah, I love that. So the retreat itself, we do have spots left. And for those who are watching the webinar, we've got a little special. If you go on the chat, we'll put the link there. We'll get our team to put that in. You've got a twin share room. So if you're coming solo, we can connect you with someone else who's like-minded to share with you. Or if you want a single room yourself or with a partner, you can do that too. They're all absolutely beautiful Balinese style accommodation in Ubud, which is I would say one of my favorite places in Bali, but includes all accommodation, food, treatments, excursion visits, etc. You just have to book your flights, and that's it. That higher frequency and vibration, and it is magical. If you haven't been there yet, a lot of people know Bali for different perspectives, but I know that what Mel has created in that sacred space, super loving, super trusted. And yeah, I'm excited. Well, we're all going to be creating magic and miracles from that place again. So if you're live with us today, any questions, click on that link, contact us. If you're watching this later, thank you for coming on. We, send you lots of love, lots of beautiful magic your way. Hopefully you can create that space within your day-to-day, like what we do. I know Mel.
Give back to yourself and allow yourself to kind of, really step into that version of yourself now. We don't actually have to wait to the retreat or wait to next year. Like, today is an opportunity for wellness. And I think every single day of our life is. And this is an example of self-love when we start to really put these practices into place. So you're worthy of that, and we all are.
We all are worthy of that. So, get on to doing something that means world for you this week, whether it's today, this weekend, and share with us what you do. I'd love to hear how you change and have that better balance is probably a good word I'd like to use. Better balance in your day-to-day and your week. Put it on our Facebook page, and we look forward to talking and chatting again with you soon. Thanks, guys, for coming on. Thank you, Mel.
Yeah, have an amazing rest of your day. And I haven't seen many faces, but I hope to see more faces. And beautiful Leanne, thank you. Thank you for coming with your gorgeous husband in 2023. I think that I hope to see you again here or somewhere maybe up in Noosa. So lots of love, everyone. Reflect on what you've done well this year. Put your projections in. Come along and join us. I would love to see new faces as well as all the beautiful ones that I already know.
Amazing. Thank you, Mel. Thank you, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your day.